It's been one of the best things that's happened to us. I was so stressed before we started to get direct payments. I was riddled in psoriasis with the stress. When you're with an autistic child that's got no concept of danger, you're just walking on eggshells the whole time. And I didn't really appreciate how much I needed a break into what was given to me. So to start with, I think there's that getting over what can you use the money for, what can you not use the money for. I think a really hard part as a parent is we would pay for all those things for Rogan as a parent, and you would think nothing of just doing that.
Because we felt as though we were pretty comfortable and so used to paying for things.
Yeah.
And we didn't feel as though we were entitled to this money. And once we found out that we got the money, it's like, how do you spend the money?
I did have a social worker that said to me, if it's on Declan and it's legal, you're pretty much good to go. So once we kind of wrapped our heads around that, it just opened up this whole world of all the things that we could do and we could try. And I think if you've got a child that's on the autistic spectrum, sometimes it's really hard to say, well, I'd like him to try that. We have to pay for a term up front. It's £40. If he only stays for one session, £40 is quite a lot of money. Then you could think, well, it's not my money, it's his money. So we use that to pay for what he wants to try. And if he only wants to try it once, it was his money. King's Camps is not the cheapest of camps to attend. It's quite an expensive sports activity. And whilst we could afford for Rogan to go, for two little boys to go can start to become really quite cost prohibitive. So then to be asked to pay for an extra staff member on top of that would have just made it absolutely inaccessible for us as parents, unless we'd had the direct payments. And it was wonderful to be able to say, well, actually, yes, we can, and yes, you can go. And as Declan gets older, he's starting to question why Rogan's doing things that he's maybe not getting to do. And now we're able to say, well, actually, you can, because we've got a way forward for you to try it. Who comes to help us on a Tuesday?
I don't know. Declan, who had a baby?
Emily. So one of the first things and the biggest things is that we're able to access and pay and pick ourselves a personal assistant that comes and helps us with Declan.
George, the baby.
But she's had a baby called George, so she's off just now. Well, she just had the baby on Friday, so we'll give her a chance.
When Emily comes, it's a really huge help to both my mum and me, because when Emily's around in the house, it will mean that I'll get a rest from Declan, and that Emily will have some time with Declan. But even though I have a hard job in dealing with Declan, it actually becomes a fun game, because I keep him occupied by doing fun games that we both know. Ooh, I love fun games.
It's when you hear Rogan talking about it, that's hard. Because it is, and Rogan's sleep is often disturbed through the night as well. So
also, again, by using the direct payments for care,
in 4 minutes.
it frees us up. Spend time with Rogan here, or even myself. That's the whole reason for it,
Yeah.
Definitely.